Have you ever felt like you were out of place in a room that everyone else belonged, but you just didn't fit in? Have you ever felt like there was an inside joke, but you were the one left on the outside? Have you ever felt that I could not ever be as popular, as clever, as cool as the people around you? Well, congratulations, you can consider yourself awkward. Many people look at my life today with a lot of admiration. They talk about my level of success and accomplishment and awe, and it actually makes me a bit uncomfortable being the center of attention. I'm a natural introvert. What they don't know is what it actually embodied for me to compete and make 5 Olympic teams over a span of 20 plus years. The focus, the hard work, the sacrifice, the perseverance, and personal development. Did I say focus? Yeah. Attention to details, mastery of skills, repeating things over and over and over until you got it right, and then you do it again, and so much more. To rise above thousands of athletes, I had to climb through more than 1,417 losses and disappointments to get to those 5 Olympics. What most people don't know about me, and you will be surprised too, that I was painfully shy. I'm still a little shy today, but because of that, I was susceptible to other people imposing their beliefs upon me. That because I'm 6'2", because I was knock-kneed, okay, actually, I wasn't knock-kneed. I was actually called that often enough that I'm using that now, because I was knock-kneed. Because I was awkward before I found my rhythm, I bought into the conversation that I should be quiet, that my opinion didn't matter, that I wasn't smart enough. Too tall Jones, they would say. I was made to feel ugly because of what I call now my heart-shaped face. Thanks, Mom, for that. But it's much better than the reference I would get about Eddie Munster. Though cute, he was a boy. And so I was awkward. And most of us have probably been awkward at some point or other. In fact, Tai Tashiro, author of Awkward, said that there's a bell curve of the general population, that the average person has quite a few things that are awkward about them. Either the awkward moment, the experience that they have, and now we've all seen this before, either in movies, or you might be sitting in that chair, can paint it to yourself, where you're in a crowded dance floor and you're feeling the music and you're dancing, eyes closed, just feeling the rhythm, only to open your eyes and look around that your flaring arms has cleared the dance floor. And all eyes are on you, laughing and pointing. Awkward moment. Or the awkward people, those who just do not fit into the norms of social expectations. It's usually the nerdy ones who have a spotlighted focus in an area, typically math and science, but I'm going to include sports in that too, where you need a systematic structure and mastery of details. Or you have the awkward people who choose to participate in things that aren't considered cool, like joining the school band. That is, unless you're joining Southern or Gramblin's band to compete in the Battle of the Band, something famous like that. So I'm a mom of an 8-year-old. And when we have time to watch television, we don't have a lot of it, but we DVR and we'll go back and we'll watch shows like The Voice, A&TM, and America's Got Talent. I love these shows because it's typically those ordinary people, average people like Tashiro's bell curve, who have embraced what's awkward about them, and now their brilliance and their talents can shine through. So, for example, we have Samuel L. J. Conroe. He's a comedian who has Tourette syndrome, which made him feel out of place all of his life. That is until he embraced everything about it, started making jokes, and it landed him a spot on America's Got Talent. He eventually became a fan favorite. Beyonce, who rules the world, and she's telling people you got to put a ring on it, right? But growing up, she felt awkward as a kid. She said that she didn't have any real friendships, but she knew she wanted to be on the stage. So later, she even created a more confident alter ego, Sasha Fierce. Steven Spielberg, a famous filmmaker, everyone loves his movies. He said that he was a nerd, he was a nerdy one, always on the outside, and he joined the band playing the clarinet. There are many, many more examples of those who, once they embraced who they were, they became more comfortable in their skin, and they focused on their passion and moved forward anyway. They were able to find a level of success and excel. Take Lady Gaga. She said that she was always teased about being ugly because of her big nose and her annoying laugh. But she went on to be the first female to win the Grammy, a Golden Globe, the BAFTA, and Oscar awards all in 1 year. Pretty amazing. Yet, when she attended the University of New York, NYU, her fellow classmates and students, they created a Facebook page full of hateful posts telling her that she would never amount to anything, that she wouldn't be successful and never be famous. I definitely can relate to that. I was tall and skinny growing up. I was often name-called and bullied. I wasn't the fastest reader, so that added to the bullying. I was told that I wouldn't amount to anything. But listening to those things, it made me feel, down and bad about myself, that I would never amount to anything. But I was really grateful that I had parents who were my champions. My dad would tell me to stand tall when I would shrink. It's my height. He would tell me to speak up when I would whisper so my voice wouldn't be heard. And my mom, when I would complain to her about my Ronald McDonald big clown-sized feet, she would say, "Honey, you were made perfectly. Because if your feet were any size smaller, you would just tip right over." And so I had my parents as my champion. And my sister, all 5'6" of her, she definitely had my back if anyone would mess with me. So growing up, as I got older, I achieved a level of comfort and some success. I made my first Olympics as the youngest athlete on the team. And after doing that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try my hand at basketball with the WNBA, which they rejected me. They said I wasn't good enough, but I did try it. So I said, let me step back into my lane. I'm going to go and try out for the 2000 Olympic team. Well, going from rookie to now the more experienced veteran seasoned player, notice how I listed all the descriptors, leaving out old. But I was nearly 10 years more senior than the youngest player on the team. And they even tried to coin me Granny, the nickname Granny. Although endearing, I said, no, I'm not having it. And so that left me feeling, again, on the outside. So what teams do and companies and corporations do when they want to create a more cohesive unit is to do some team building. We have done a lot of different experiences and activities, but the one that sticks out in my mind, I don't know the name of it, but we would sit in a circle, and as you go around, you have to make a response to a question. If you hesitated or got it wrong, the team as a unit could vote you in, or they could vote you out. Well, it was my turn, and I missed. I hesitated. And I pleaded with them to keep me in because I felt this feeling before of being on the outside. I wanted to be in. I wanted to stay in the game. But collectively as a unit, they waved their hands together as if they were getting ready to signal an umpire, signaling a batter who had just struck out. Waved their hands in the air and they said, "You're out of here." I was defeated. all of a sudden, I didn't know what that game was supposed to do, but what I felt was all of those feelings of my youth coming back. Am I good enough? Am I going to fit in? I was out of the game. And that awkward moment, that moment where I was out of the game, it hurt. But eventually, I got back in the game. Not once, not twice, not 3 times or 4, but enough times to make a new record for USA indoor volleyball Olympic appearances. And that game, "You're out of here," became a joke for the rest of the quad. So it's all in your mindset and how you view yourself and the awkward situation that you're in. So as I wrap things up, I want to make a suggestion on how you and I can make a difference. If you see someone, or your classmates, or you have kids or no kids, or your coworkers, who's the nerdy one, who maybe doesn't get invited to all the parties, or it's not so easy for them to make friends, you can be their champion, like my parents were for me. At least until they're able to find their own voice and gain their own rhythm to be their own champion. If you're the popular one and really don't know what it's like, oh yeah, find your superpower. If you're the champion and you really don't know what it's like, if you're the popular person, really don't know what it's like to feel awkward, then embrace a person when you see that they're out of sorts and that they don't fit in. Because in the Bible it says that the meek shall inherit the earth, but if you look at people like Bill Gates, it seems as though the geeks are who are inheriting everything, right? And so you may be standing next to someone who is going to do great things. So why not be the person who reach out and pull them to the inside? And finally, ask yourself, what is it about you that makes yourself awkward? What is it that is your superpower? And what if you embraced it? Yes? If you embrace it, whatever it is that makes you awkward, or if you're having that feeling about yourself or someone calls you awkward, accept it. Say thank you. I receive it. Because whatever it is that makes you different, whatever that makes you awkward, then it could be your superpower. So you can use that for your Olympic-sized pursuit in life. Don't give up. Have a strong mindset and belief in the things that you are able to do, and use that superpower that's within. Thank you.